This story is from February 1948, and the location was the same where Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappearance was last seen on radar in 2014, that is, the Strait of Malacca. This place is a narrow sea passage between Malaysia and Indonesia, through which thousands of ships pass every day. That day, the weather was completely clear, the sea was calm, and the wind was as peaceful as on normal days. On this same route, several American and British ships were traveling. Everything was going normal, but suddenly, many ships present there received a strange signal on their radios. Welcome once again to Dark Reality Videos. Viewers, this strange signal was in Morse code format. Morse code is an old-school method of communication, but it is far more reliable than voice messages. Normally, if a voice is transmitted over radio, it depends on distance, atmospheric obstacles like fog, dust, humidity, and line of sight. When there are obstacles, the audio message does not fully reach the receiver, it either fades or reaches with heavy distortion. In contrast, Morse code is a combination of dots and dashes, which can be decoded at the receiving end into a complete English sentence. The biggest advantage of this method is that it can be transmitted thousands of kilometers despite atmospheric interference. That day, the Morse code received by ships in the Strait of Malacca began like this. 3 dots, 3 dashes, and again 3 dots, and this pattern repeated twice, followed by a long sequence of dots and dashes. When decoded, the beginning meant, SOS SOS. The full message translated roughly like this. SOS SOS. From steamship SS Arong Medan. All ships with shortwave wireless, please contact a doctor immediately. This was the first message received. Then, without any delay, a second message arrived. Its translation was, probably the second officer is dead. Other crew members are also dead. Do not give medical advice. SOS. Request immediate help from a warship. After this second message, the ship sent its position and then a final message, which seemed incomplete. The last message only said, I die. After this, there was complete silence. Radio operators on other ships immediately responded, but no reply came back. For the next several minutes, the silence continued. All ships that received the message understood that something terrible had happened to a ship named SS Arong Medan. After receiving these horrifying messages, the closest American merchant ship, Silver Star, decided to go to the location from where the signal had come. Its captain changed course and quickly moved toward SS Arong Medan. At first, they thought the ship might be sinking or had been attacked. After several hours of travel, when Silver Star reached near the location, they saw through binoculars that a ship was indeed present there. As they got closer, the crew of Silver Star was shocked to see that SS Arong Medan was in perfectly fine condition. There was no visible damage, and there were no signs of water entering the ship. It was simply floating silently on the sea. If anything seemed strange, it was this: despite being a steam engine ship, no smoke was coming out of its chimney. Even more strange, there was no movement on the deck. Such a large ship, yet completely silent. The captain of Silver Star could not understand what was happening. He made several calls on the loudspeaker and sounded the horn, but there was no response except the sound of sea waves. Finally, he decided to send a team onto the ship to uncover the mystery. When the rescue team boarded SS Arong Medan, the inside atmosphere felt cold and completely silent. Then they saw the first dead body. This was no ordinary body, the man's face was frozen in extreme terror. His eyes and mouth were wide open, as if he had witnessed something horrifying at the moment of death. His body was stiff, and his hands were stretched forward, as if trying to stop something. As the rescue team moved forward, they found more bodies. Dead bodies were scattered everywhere on the deck. The captain was dead in his place. Other officers were dead on the bridge. Even the ship's dog was found dead. Its death also did not seem normal. It too was stiff, with its mouth open. The most shocking thing was that none of the bodies had any visible injuries. There were no wounds, no signs of struggle, no indication of any fight. Only one thing was common. The same terrifying expression on every face. When the rescue team reached the radio room, they found the body of the radio operator who had sent all those messages. His fingers were still on the Morse code key, in the same position as when he sent the final message, "I die." At this point, the rescue team was sure that something highly abnormal had happened, because there were no visible injuries, yet everyone had died, seemingly out of extreme fear. They decided to tow the ship with ropes to a nearby port for further investigation. But just as they started tying ropes, smoke began coming from the lower section of the ship, cargo hold number 4. At first, it was light smoke, but soon it turned into a raging fire. The fire spread so quickly that the rescue team had no choice but to escape. They immediately jumped back into their boats and returned to Silver Star. As soon as they reached their ship, a massive explosion occurred on SS Arong Medan, scattering its debris across the sea. Within moments, the mysterious ship sank into the depths of the ocean, taking all its secrets and those terrifying bodies with it. Now, no evidence remained, only the testimony of the Silver Star crew. Because there was no physical proof, many people considered it a fabricated story, while others created conspiracy theories. Some researchers claimed that no ship named SS Arong Medan was ever officially registered. Even Lloyd's Register, which maintains records of ships worldwide, had no record of it. However, others believe that this was just after World War II, when many ships operated under fake names or were unregistered. It is possible that SS Arong Medan was one of them, or it was involved in illegal activities. In 1954, Dutch newspapers published an article describing this entire incident, including interviews of people who had previously worked on the ship. Some claimed the ship was used for smuggling illegal goods. However, attempts to trace the owner of the ship failed due to lack of evidence. Many years later, in May 2003, the CIA declassified some secret files, including one related to this mysterious ship. It was a letter written on May 29, 1958, describing the entire incident. The writer mentioned that solving the tragedy of SS Arong Medan could help solve many other mysteries of missing ships and airplanes. It is unknown whether the CIA investigated it, but the letter remained classified for 45 years before being declassified. The most widely accepted and logical theory is that the ship was carrying dangerous chemicals. Remember, World War II had just ended, and countries like Japan and Germany had many deadly chemicals. It is believed that the ship was smuggling substances like potassium cyanide or nitroglycerin. Experts say that if seawater mixes with potassium cyanide, it can release extremely toxic gas, which affects the lungs and can cause instant death by suffocation. This explains why there were no visible injuries on the bodies. Nitroglycerin, on the other hand, is highly explosive and can detonate if not stored properly. The fire seen by the rescue team might have been caused by this. Another theory suggests that the ship might have been carrying materials related to Unit 731, a notorious Japanese unit known for biological experiments on humans. After Japan lost the war, the United States tried to take control of its scientists. It is possible the ship was transporting secret biological or chemical weapons, and leakage killed the entire. Because it was a secret mission, the ship may not have been registered. Another interesting point is that the Silver Star crew said the atmosphere on the ship felt very heavy. The dog's aggressive, frozen posture suggests it may have seen something terrifying. This leads some to believe in a supernatural explanation. The truth of SS Arong Medan remains buried somewhere in the depths of the ocean. Logically speaking, the chemical leak theory seems the strongest. Smuggling dangerous chemicals with poor safety likely caused the deaths of those sailors. This incident is one of those rare events that remind us how many secrets the ocean still holds. Even today, when ships pass through the Strait of Malacca, old sailors remember the story of SS Arang Medan. It reminds us that no matter how much humans progress, we are still helpless before nature and fate. We hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you for your love and comments. See you in the next video.